Hello and good morning. Today is July the 28th, 2015, and my name is Alvarez, and I am part of the Practicum of Educational Technology class in the second summer session of 2015. And this is a midterm debriefing on what I've done so far with my project. It's been an interesting 3 weeks so far. I've had some setbacks, scheduling issues, situations that have come up with my colleagues being able to help out with formative and summative assessments. I've been doing roughly between 8 to 12 hours a day. There's been a couple of days where I've taken off to be able to recoup, but essentially I'm still here and still working hard to be able to finish up the project. The capstone project of Practicum of Educational Technology is something that, from beginning to end, it is a nonstop adrenaline rush of different situations that come up to acquire the information that we need to be able to finish the project, the analysis, the development, the design then development, the implementation, all of that in this capstone project has been an amazing ride, actually. I can see where you have to be a really good project manager to be able to complete all of the different phases that come up in a project. And there are some questions that we are supposed to be covering in this debriefing that I would like to try and answer. I have to tell you that this project, I know, will be something that is going to be very relatable to what we want to do in educational technology. We have these projects that are going to come up, and we know they're going to be temporary, so we need to have a beginning and we need to have an end. Now, the first question that is asked of us is, what is the ultimate goal of the project? What do we plan to accomplish by the submission due date? I have, from the beginning, I always thought that I wanted to do something that was relevant in my teaching career. And I know last year and this year, the implementation of something called data walls, which is a motivational tool that we're using at the school that I teach at, Dr. Connell Freshman Academy in Harlingen, Texas. They're using these on a daily basis and a quarterly basis. And what essentially it does is it gives the kids data-driven feedback to be able to make adjustments in the classroom. Let's say they're not focusing on a certain objective, or the benchmark wasn't as high as they would have liked. They could actually see their progress from last year's STAR scores. So I thought that was something that was really relevant for the project that I wanted to do this year. So the ultimate goal of my project, which I called Let's Tango, using data walls to motivate, is something that I thought was very relevant. And so that's what I wanted the project to be, relevant. And starting out the project, I had this goal, I had this vision. It's, how can I use data walls to motivate my kids? And everybody needs motivation. Educators are supposed to be all-star motivators, so to speak. So I knew that this was an important topic to be able to discuss, and doing it in a lesson format, what I thought was very, very relevant. So the ultimate goal of my project is to make the lesson of motivating kids using data walls a reality for my colleagues and myself. And so as I am doing this project, I know that the relevancy of this project is very, very real, because I know I'm going to be using it this year, and I'm going to be using it the following year, because STAR isn't going away. And because we know that the STAR tests aren't going to go away anytime soon, we need to adjust. So this project, the ultimate goal of this project is to make a lesson that's relevant to help us along in the STAR process. Number 2, what does the instructional solution look like now? Is it taking shape? What does the end product look like now? So what I wanted to do was take you to the website first, which is my ePortfolio. This is where the lesson is located. It's called the Capstone Project Practicum of Educational Technology. Let's Tango, using the data walls to motivate. That's something too in our projects. We definitely need to find images that no royalties need to be paid for. And so I've been using this one particular website where all of the images on there's no royalties to be paid. It came out to be a really nice icon. And this is the icon from my particular instructional unit. And as I've done in the past, I actually manipulate, update my ePortfolio as I go along in each class. And so as we're going along in the Practicum class, that's something else too. I know it's further down the line. What lessons have I learned? Never wait, especially with an ePortfolio. As you're developing it, as you're creating it, you should definitely update your ePortfolio so it's fresh in your mind and the adjustments can be made right away. And by the time you get to the end of the class, there's only a few little tweaks that you need to do, as opposed to looking at it from the beginning and try to remember what you had been doing in the class. So as you can see, I have my little icon here, and I have part 1 proposal revised, my goals analysis, learning analysis, context analysis, subordinate skills analysis, performance objectives, assessment instruments, and instructional strategies. Essentially, I am up to the most that I can possibly be up to. The next step would be completing the project, my instructional solution. And I am just probably 2 days away from doing that. I would have, in 2 days, would make it Thursday. And so I would have about 4 or 5 days to tweak it. And for sure, by the time I'm on Thursday, the instructional solution is going to be emailed to all of my people for the formative. And I'm ready to go with the summative after I get some feedback. I'll make the adjustments, and then I'll run those people through with the summative, which will be next Monday. So, so my formative evaluation and my summative evaluation are on hold right now until my instructional solution gets emailed out to my people. And like I said, I'm about 2 days away. I'm going to, the videos are completed, the video lessons are completed, and the shell is completed. And I'm using Storyline 2 to create the shell. And I'm really satisfied with that particular product. So I'm probably going to purchase it after I graduate. As I said, my instructional solution is about 2 days away. And what does it look like now? Well, let's look at the subordinate skills analysis. As you can see, there are 3 main project objectives. The highest one is using data walls to motivate, which is right here. And we have generate reports in Tango is 1 lesson. Calculate % changes in students' progress with spreadsheet software, that's lesson 2. And create data walls to analyze student % changes to motivate. Now, as you can see in Articulate Storyline 2, I'm in story view right now, and I will start up the lesson a little bit. It says, let's tango using data walls to motivate. You can already see the shell starting to take shape. On the left over here, there's the introduction, there's the beginning of the lesson, and why don't we go into preview mode? We'll do the entire project. Developed.
Hello, and welcome to the lesson called Let's Tango, Using Data Walls to Motivate, an instructional unit for using data walls to motivate students to achieve higher STAR scores. Click to begin the lesson.
And as you can tell already, I've already done some really cool stuff in the shell of the program. The parts that are not in yet is the lesson, the actual lessons. Let's click on begin. Let's click on one of these. So this is lesson 1, and right now it's just a place card. And you can go back to the menu, and then we'll click on this one. You'll notice that all of these are place cards, just like that. This is what my lesson is, or my project solution is looking like. As of right now, all of my videos are completed. What I have to do in the next 2 days is make this shell into the lesson that I want, with different little resources, with things that make it special. And question 3, what lessons have you learned? As you are creating your instructional unit, you have to have a clear goal of focus all the way through the lesson. And as you are creating it, as you're going through all the different steps of goal analysis, learner analysis, context analysis, subordinate skills, performance objectives, assessment instruments, instructional strategies, and then you finally come up with your instructional solution. As you're developing it, it's going to become more clear. As I was creating my instructional, all of the different analysis, it just became clearer and clearer and clearer as to what my solution was going to look like. So make sure that you have that goal in front of you, and you're always looking back at it, always focusing on that goal, so you never lose sight of it. And the second thing that I've learned, and from our textbook, we've learned that initiating, planning, development, implementation, and project closure, all of that has to do with opening and closing that project. But another thing that I've learned is that it is essential, it is absolutely essential to be a master of time management. I am doing the 8 to 10 hours a day, but I got the breaks in between, and I still have a little bit of a family life. You have to have a good hold, a mastery of time management. You're going to be able to set those goals and reach those goals because you have so much time to get to it. Hopefully, I know this happened to me, hopefully you won't have any snags with the cameras. The dogs in the background aren't barking. I was actually on location, and I had to change locations because of the dogs that were barking. And then the wind was acting up that day, and that was hitting my microphone, and so I wasn't able to videotape that. So I needed to go inside, and you'll find this out when you do look at my solution, that I had to do an inside video, a video take in a classroom with data walls behind me instead of what I wanted to do as far as the location went. So that was 2 lessons that I've learned, 2 major lessons that I've learned from working on this project. Question 4, what is the chance of finishing the product by the deadline? I think the chance is 99%, 100%. I mean, I am at closure's door, so to speak. I am ready to finish it, and I hope to do so very, very soon. I've had a few setbacks. One of them was administration said that I couldn't do a face-to-face. It had to be all web-based because of a sexual harassment in service. The same day that I wanted to be able to implement this multimedia object or the instructional unit. So I cannot do the face-to-face, so it has to be 100% web-based. And that was question 4. Question 5 is there any concerns or issues that may interest the class as a whole? None that I can think of, but for sure, try not to take this class in the summer. This is not a summer class to play around with. You need to really focus, and I'm doing that 8 to 10 hours a day for probably 5 straight weeks. It's not a class that you want to really rush. I am learning though. The practicum of educational technology, you are going to learn no matter who you are, what you're doing in life. You're going to learn stuff. And you might want to take it in that 16-week either fall or spring semester, because it is not something to play around with. Time management is key, and you better be a good time manager. Those are the 5 questions that we are asked to do in the debriefing. But I'm really excited about the project because it is relevant. And it is something that I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do, because I don't think unless I was an educational technologist in HCISD, I would not be able to, as a teacher, do this and have the time to do it. So the class has given me that opportunity. And that is my mid-term debriefing on my instructional solution.